Hello friends, my name is Raza Masood. Today we will discuss about a topic scope baseline. Friend, this is a very interesting topic with respect to project management, and I would love to talk about this topic. So, friend, I will try my level best to explain this topic in terms of PMI or project management body of knowledge as per the definition. I will try my level best to explain the concept of a scope baseline in a very easy to understand manner. So friend, first of all I would request to please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start. Scope baseline. Friend, this topic is mainly of project management, and before going into deep I would ask from you that in your point of view, what is the scope? There are two words in front of you: scope, baseline. Scope, baseline. What is a scope? What you will think that what is a scope in your point of view? If I ask from you, just think about that what is a scope. Friend, scope is basically a boundary of which we define about the requirement of customer. What does that mean? It means that, for example, customer is saying that he wants to implement an e-commerce solution, and there are 5 modules which he wants to implement. So this is the scope of a project. Scope means the boundary of a project that we have to deliver. We are locking down the scope. If after signing the scope of work, after 1 month he says that he needs one more module, so now it is out of the scope. It is a change request. Why it is a change request? Because as per the signed scope of work, this module does not come under the signed scope of work. So that's why it is called the out of a scope work, because it is not comes under the signed scope of work. Are you getting my point? Scope means the boundary of requirement, the locking down the requirement which we have to deliver to customer. So that is called the main concept of a scope. Now coming towards baseline. Baseline means the basic lines. Basic line means that the baseline concept is that we have to measure the performance of work with the baseline. For example, at the start of a project we decided that within 5 months we will deliver 5 modules to customer with $500 cost. For example, this is your baseline concept. This is your baseline. What? 5 modules, 5 months, and $500 cost. So this is your baseline concept. After 3 months you evaluate your performance, that for example in 3 months you already spent for example $600, and uh, s- uh, 3 module or at least one module is ready to deliver. So that's means you are behind the schedule. Your performance is not up to the mark, and you are not as per the baseline set you. So baseline concept means that you set some targets for your scope, your schedule, your cost. So based on that we can evaluate, we can measure our performance, performance of project against the baseline. So baseline concept is that we set it for to measure the performance of a project. So now coming towards scope baseline, the main concept, the main topic which we are right now discussing is scope baseline. Scope baseline is referred to as the approved version of a scope statement, work breakdown structure, and WBS dictionary that can be changed only through formal change control procedure and is used as a basis for comparison. Now this was only the definition. Scope baseline. Friend, scope baseline is basically consist on three things: scope statement, work breakdown structure, and WBS dictionary. What does that mean? But first of all, try to understand what is the concept of a scope baseline. Try to understand. Scope baseline, we set it to measure the performance. Measure the performance means that we decided 5 modules we have to give in the 5 months. So if we delivered the 5 modules in the 5 months, that means we achieved our baseline. If 5 modules are not delivered in 5 months, that means we are not up to the mark. We have not we as per the baseline we set, we are not up to the mark. Scope baseline means, for example, let me give you an example, same example. 5 modules in 5 months you have delivered. If you delivered the 5 modules in 5 months, that means that you are okay, you have delivered the work. If 5 modules not delivered in 5 months, that means you are not up to the baseline and you were below the baseline. Are you getting my point? So this is concept of baseline. Scope baseline means to measure your work, measure your performance of project. A scope baseline consists of three things basically, through which you measure the performance: scope statement, work breakdown structure, and WBS dictionary. Friend, scope statement, what does it mean? When we start a project, the customer and the vendor, basically the management, sit together and they decide the scope statement. Scope statement means that they decide that what is the boundary of a scope, what they want actually, what they want in the project, what is the estimated cost, what are the assumptions, what are the constraints, what are the objectivity of the project. So all these things decided in the scope statement. What is required in the project, what is the cost, what are the assumptions, constraints, what is the uh, what is the scope of a project, basically what they want from vendor, what actually they want from customer, from vendor, what they want to deliver, and what are the assumptions, constraints, which comes under the scope of a project. This is called the concept of a scope. This is the concept of a scope statement. Next one is the work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure means, friend, whenever we talk about divide and rule, work breakdown structure is a mainly concept of project management, in which what we will do, we divide the work until unless we reach some level at which we can estimate the work. It is our, you can say, a work. Just see this definition: work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure means that we divide the work and continues till we reach some level at which we can estimate a work. For example, if construction of house is a your project, for example, so what you will do, like for example, let's suppose external work. You decide that external work means that you will do some paint on the house. So you will estimate that on to do the paint on the house, how much cost and effort is required to do that. So you see, you divide the work. Of major work is that you have to do the to construct the house, out of which one work is that you have to do some external work, and in the external work you realize that you have to do the paint on the house, on the front side of a house. So you decide that to do the paint on the house, how much work and effort is, how much cost and effort is required. So you are dividing the work until unless you reach some level at which you can estimate the effort and cost of a work. Next one is WBS dictionary. WBS dictionary means, friend, work breakdown structure dictionary. It's simply the detail of a work pertains to the WBS dictionary. What does it mean? For example, if there is for example, you are implementing a e-commerce solution, and there is a work that customer can do the payment through debit card at e-commerce solution. For example, this is the work, this is the task. So what you will do, WBS dictionary, you can just imagine that it will contain all the detail related to that. For example, who will do this task, and it pertains to which scope requirement. As per the scope definition, it pertains to which RFP requirement, and how much effort, how much cost is required to do this, task. So if a WBS dictionary means, friend, just simply imagine, just try to understand, it is just simply a detail pertaining to that particular task. What does that mean? For example, same requirement, customer can do the payment through debit card. So who is the assigned resource to that, to do that requirement? How much cost is required? What is the task number as per the project plan? What is the scope number as per the scope, signed scope of work? What is the RFP number with respect to this task? So all the what is the description of this task? So all these types of definition, all these types of detail pertaining to particular this task will be maintained in the WBS dictionary. So friend, just remember that a scope baseline means that we maintain the scope baseline to measure the performance of a project, and it contains the scope statement, WBS and WBS dictionary. So friends, that's all from my side. I hope you like this video. If you like, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and also please subscribe to my channel. And that's all from my side. Thank you, thanks a lot, and that's all from my side. Thank you.